So 10 years, 11 years is over. And you
Right.
move on. Well, not really move on. We're going to fast forward to chapter 6 called
Oh,
Cry Together. I don't want to stay too long on that.
right.
But you you meet women in between the breakup, and then now we're on to, I forget, there's so many names, bro. I forget the name. But so then you get involved with a woman and you commit to this woman, and then you see your ex, which leads to Cry Together.
Right.
Briefly, because I don't want to run out of time, briefly talk about what that encounter was like after spending 11 years with a woman.
Right. Well, I mean, it was a couple of instances where I ran into somebody I was dealing with and they told me they would be happy for me. And it was somebody that they didn't really want me to be happy with. So I won't spoil that part of it all. But running into the girl I was with for 11 years and her seeing my new love of my life almost crushed that woman. When she told me it was over and she didn't have feelings for me anymore. And when you see me with the new woman that I'm in love with and you almost pass out, that kind of shows me like she really didn't mean what she was saying. I thought she did, but she really didn't mean what she was saying. So then I took responsibility for that, and I felt guilty for it, because I didn't want that. I'm trying to be mature. I'm trying to be smart about this. I'm looking for this 50-year relationship like my grandparents, and her and I weren't it. We just wouldn't have lasted. We'd have got divorced, and I could tell. We did 11 years because half of the 11 years I was on night shift and she was doing regular 9 to 5 hours. And then the other half, when we were both home together, because now I was doing day shift and we were at home every night together, it was different. So we lasted longer when we didn't see each other as much living in the same house. When we were living in and working at the same hours and being with each other every day and every night, it got
Big
hectic.
difference.
Big
Big
difference.
difference. Leon said, so that's 5 years. He must have did good in math classes. I'm just like, damn, man, he worked half. Leon, you're right, yo. That's 5 years. You know what I mean? Brother Duffy, that's an A+ for Brother Duffy. Now listen, like, why did you feel the need to write this book? And what do you want people to take away from this?
Well, when we talk about being a man and men, a lot of us aren't transparent. Men, even though they mature and they grow and get older, they're faking the funk and they're not being real when they talk about love and relationships. We could talk about boxing, we could talk about basketball, but when it comes to love and relationships, a lot of men are hiding the real deal. So I'm not afraid to hide the real deal because I'm a man about everything I do, even the love and the relationship stuff. To this day, I wrote this book because if you're going to be in a relationship, you might as well give it the chance that it deserves to be successful by being honest with yourself. And I can't have a friend around me that's cheating on his wife if I know I'm trying to be loyal to mine. So that's a deep issue. Infidelity is the biggest issue I see these days. They always talk about what breaks people up. Right now, because of my history and having sex with so many women, I can have sex with one woman and be happy for the rest of my life. I don't need all that extra craziness. So that's why I pick women who I will be satisfied with for the rest of my life. And I know that as soon as I see them, as soon as we indulge our first year or two together, I don't need anybody else. So I can say that out loud.
When people read this book, I ain't gonna front. I read the book and I say, yeah, I'm not supposed to be reading it. This is like a chick book. Like certain chapters, I didn't feel like I should be reading. It just was. It was like a Tyler Perry type movie. It's like I think this
I
Will
sent
Packer texting. Will
I sent
Packer was
Tyler Perry
texting
a
me
book.
now.
I
I'm sure
sent
you
Tyler
did,
Perry a
bro.
book.
Send his ass another one, bro. Him and Will Packer, send them jokers another book because this needs to be on the screen. I appreciate the fact that like you transparent about what you did and like you're sorrowful about what you did and how you were and you understand like where it came from. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, we never get to the point where they're just like, yo, man, there's certain things that's going on in my life and I can't figure out what it is. You seem to have figured it out. And a lot of people go through their whole life and they never figure it out. So they keep making the same mistakes, like
Or
over and over and
wasting
over
time.
again. Wasting time. You know what I mean? So the last chapter is called Angel by one of my favorite artists of all time, Anita Baker. Tell us if she is still your angel. I'm gonna let you talk about that chapter.
Well, that chapter, I put it in the book because it was current at the time. My motive was good, my heart was good, but I didn't finish it because the pandemic changed a lot of lives, not only mine, but all of our lives.
Everybody's life. Yeah.
So when it comes to love and relationships, this pandemic has shown people a lot of what you really have at home. Now you had to spend that time there and you couldn't go anywhere. So now you know if she looks at you and really loves you when she looks you in your eyes, and you can tell. So I'm not going to spoil it because, you know, book number 2 will have a lot in it. But me searching for my butterfly in this book my whole life, and being 49 years old and never been married, I'm still gonna have the relationship and butterfly that I feel I deserve. I'll just leave it at that.
I wanna end this on a super duper positive note, man. I just want to say thank you for coming on. Like,
Thank you,
once
brother.
people read the
And I like
book,
your style, bro. I like your style. And if I have anything to do with you moving up in the world, a podcast, your own daily TV show, I'm on it because you got it. You got what it takes.
I appreciate that. And for the people who don't know, this is the TKB Report. You know, it's tuned in, you know, sponsored by the TKB Report. I'm the host, K. Langevine, and I provided this platform for brothers like Crunch and others. If you go to the tkbreport.com, you'll see that I've interviewed a plethora of people from all over New Jersey, and all of their stories are amazing. Like this book, I couldn't put it there. I'm not an avid reader at all. I gotta preface it with that. I'm not an avid reader, but when I picked the book up, I couldn't put it down. I think anybody who reads the book, any man who reads the book, any woman who reads the book can take parts of and say, you know what, that was a part of my life at some point, good or bad, which leads me to this.
Shahir, what up?
Every chapter in the book, Mustafa, I appreciate that. Like I said, we're gonna talk soon. Every chapter of the book is a title of a song. So, Back Down Memory Lane by Minnie Riperton. You got Angel by Anita Baker. You've got Sideshow by Blue Magic. Tell me why you chose to title each chapter with a song.
Well, I did that because as I was coming up, I would hear these songs. My mom would play them. My mom used to race cars and she had hot rods. So my mother was different. And the music my mom and my dad played, but the words didn't mean much as a kid. You just knew the rhythm in the song. As you get older and you start dealing with relationships and love, these words start hitting you differently. And now you start to understand what these songs meant and what they mean. So for me, I could get on the highway. I got a convertible right now. I can drop the top, do 80 miles an hour driving on the Parkway South or 80 West, and listen to these songs and get my mind right. So I said, let me put a playlist in this book that people will go and start listening to these songs and finally see these words were real words, especially Blue Magic, bro. When it comes to love and relationships, Blue Magic is rough.
We might have to do a series on how music can change your goddamn life, because I never listened to some of the music, the titles. So I was just like, yo, let me listen to it. These jokers were singing from a place. Like, they were singing from a place of hurt. They were singing from a place of love. They were singing from a place of, so I appreciated that uniqueness of it. And that kind of just put me in a sense of like, yo, this book is definitely something special. This book is definitely something that, that anything that I can do to push it forward for, great success, I'm going to
Thank you, bro.
do everything
Thank
that
you.
I can in my power to do that. And with that being said, and no disrespect, I had to play that DMX song.
Well, I'm a hip
Like I
hop lover,
said,
so I can dig it, bro. I love
you
that
know what I
song.
mean? But listen, man, I appreciate you coming out, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I gave away too much of the book. I don't want to give away any more than what
It's
I
a
gave
lot
away
more in
right
there,
now.
though. It's a lot
You
more
know
in
what I
there.
mean? Tell the people that's on here right now, because a couple of people said they want to get it, where they
Okay.
can purchase this book.
www.authorjamesrodman.com. I'm not on Amazon because they take 65% of your money, and I'm not in it for them to rob me.
65%.
65%. Any
Man,
author you see
that's
on there, unless they're popular, 65% from the rip. So you won't see me on Amazon until I'm rich enough where Amazon is just another business move. Yeah. www.authorjamesrodman.com or at Author James Rodman on Instagram, and you can read all about how to get the book. And I appreciate anyone that gets it. They told me I wouldn't sell 100 copies in 30 days, and I'm probably close to 3,000 after about 45 days, 50, 60 days. So
listen,
my
man.
goal is 10,000 or better. I'm going to push it, and this is my business now. And I still believe in love. That's what it boils down to. I'm here.
Listen, man. 10,000 copies of selling like a self-published author is like going platinum. That's just the way I look at it. And
Thank you.
and I'm praying that this book exceeds 10,000.
Thank you,
And
brother.
I want you to tell the people, like what's next for, the author James Rodman or the creative James Rodman or
Well, I have
DJ Crunch.
right. I have plans for summer of 2021. I already have my screenplay for this book in motion. That's why I sent the book to Tyler Perry. I'm going to talk to Dana about Flavor Unit Films just to see if I'm in the realm of actually making a movie out of this and how I can go about it. But I have a second book coming out called Just My Opinion, and it touches on many, many topics, and I'm going to be candid and transparent in those topics and shoot an opinion that I think right now the climate is going to be able to handle, which is, the black community and our own people and the survival of us and business and money in the future. So that's my plans for that. But author jamesrodman.com, that's where they can get the book. And the TKB report, I'm going to be
Yes, sir.
pushing, and anything you move, I already told Moo. You talking to Mustafa. I had already told Moo, you next. His Moo was like, word. I said, yo, you on this show. This is the show, bro. We gonna make this one hot. And that's
Yep.
why he's here tonight. And it's a couple people
Yep.
that popped in. They popped in for a reason, brother. So Kurt, I love what you do. And I appreciate what
Listen.
you do for the culture, bro.
Well, listen, man. I appreciate the fact that you agreed to be on the show. But with that being said, man, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for coming out. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to DJ Crunch, now Author Crunch. You know what I mean? Extraordinaire. And until next time, we are signing off. And blessings to everybody. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you.